How are you going to pay us back? Please, don't. I have 2 children. They don't have a father. So you want to pay us with your children? Please, I'll do anything. The way we see it, you only have 2 options. Anything. 1, you can sell your body for us and maybe, within 100 years, you can pay us back. Or she can sell herself 100 times over, so she can pay us in the next 10 years. And the other option is you can kill Lamartine for us. Grace. She's a small town girl. Grew up in the countryside. Got married to her childhood love, Oliver. When Oliver managed to get a job in the city, they moved here and were trying to live a happy life together. In the next years, they had 2 sons. And life was simple and sweet. Until the accident. Grace had left her part-time job as a librarian to be a homemaker after having their 2nd son. But after Oliver's death, she no longer had a choice. Grace didn't have the option to return to their hometown with her kids, and even a full-time job at the library wouldn't suffice them. So Grace got a full-time job as a housekeeper at the IIB Hotel. What is this? The bedsheets have a stain. Call the manager. How can you be so careless? Go and clean the room again ASAP. But even then, the salary she got working overtime was nowhere near enough to raise 2 kids, or even make ends meet. How am I going to bring up 2 kids on minimum wage? Mom, my ankle! I'm sorry, the insurance won't cover the full cost. And in all this, when Aiden fractured his ankle, Grace ended up having to spend a good amount from whatever little she makes to go by the month. She had next to no money, no time, and no hope of making more. How's your son? He's getting better. Grace, if you don't mind me asking, how do you make ends meet on the salary? It's difficult. It's not even enough for a single person, and you have 2 kids. I don't know what else to do. I work 2 days at the library, I work here 14 hours a day, and then I have to take care of the kids back home. I'm looking for another job, but what other choice do I have? But how do you do it? Actually, there is a way, but it's not really virtuous. What? I can't do that. I'm not like that. No, it's not what you're thinking. It's a delivery, and why do we have to care what's in it? What? But isn't it risky? Not at all. That's why they hire us. The police are after the thugs. They never get suspicious of us. That day, Jessica took Grace to the warehouse and introduced her to Mr. Romario. Is she trustworthy? Yes, I know her well. I know her family. She's very responsible. She can do it. On Jessica's insistence, Mr. Romario took Grace in for the job. All right, give her the package. You'll have to deliver this to our buyer at 11 p.m. at Roswell Alley, by the IIB Hotel, where you work. When you see him, you'll know it's him. We'll send him your name and picture. So that night, Grace did as told and took the package to the location and waited. But even after 2 hours went by, no one came. It's past midnight. The kids must be waiting for me. Hey, sweetheart. What are you doing here? What do you want? We can help you. Get lost. Oh, really? You want us to get lost? Alright, let's get lost. But what have you got with you? No! That night, there was nothing Grace could do about it. She got robbed and lost the package, and the consequences came sooner. Here you go. No one should know. How am I going to do this? Take someone's life? David Lamartine. He was an author and a filmmaker. He had written many books on political science and sociology. And Grace had recently gotten introduced to him when he booked into the IIB Hotel. And it wasn't just any coincidence, but Lamartine was there for a reason. He was in hiding. Recently, Lamartine had been shooting a film exposing something political. And since then, his life has been at threat. And the syndicate had been tasked to get rid of him to stop that film from airing. Leaving the warehouse, Grace returned home almost around midnight. "Mom, where were you? You're late again. You said you won't ever be late. We called everywhere." "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mom got a little caught up with work." "Mom, what happened to you?" "I got into a small accident." Mom, you know what happened at school today? The teacher gave me a sticker." "Hey, I want a sticker." "No, it's mine." "Mom." "Mom, are you alright?" "Yes, sweetheart, you have your dinner." What am I going to do? If something happens to me, what will happen to them? I have to kill him. The next morning, Grace hid the gun in her bag and managed to make her way into the hotel. "Hey James, how's it going, Grace?" "I'm well." "You go ahead. Must be something small, maybe a coin or some key." Luckily, Grace had known the security, and James didn't suspect her of anything. On the right opportunity that day, Grace went to deliver Lamartine's room service. "Thank you so much. I was quite hungry. The weather is so nice out. It's been so stuffed staying in this hotel room for the past month. I think I'm going to take a walk in the garden." "Enjoy your day." Grace had the opportunity to get the job done, but she couldn't get caught. If I want to get this done, I have to do it now. This is my chance. As Lamartine went out to the garden behind the hotel, Grace planned to shoot him from the rooftop, from a blind spot of the security cameras. But it was in all this, Grace heard a gunshot. Lamartine was shot by another man. As he tried to run, security went after him, and Grace rushed to Lamartine. "Mr. Lamartine." In his last moments, Lamartine took out a small chip from his belt and handed it to Grace. "Please, keep this safe. This is very important for people like you, your children. Don't let them destroy it. They tried to find it, but they couldn't. Expose this to the world." Grace watched as they took Lamartine's body away. The man didn't survive, but his work did, and now it was with Grace. people, they have been running after money. Anything they would do for a single buck. Take life. Sell themselves. Once a year, this country celebrates its freedom and independence, lights fireworks to glorify its greatness. What makes this country so great? 16 hours of labor for minimum wage? Processed food, which is the root cause of cancer, and the real food being so expensive that no one can afford it but the rich? Lack of sleep and miserable living standard? Homelessness and no health care? And unaffordable education and debt? No, the citizens of this country are not free. All they have is few choices that have been allowed to them by their owners. Yes, owners, masters, lords, that people are not even aware of. The people are bound by modern-day slavery, which they cannot even perceive. People are paid minimum wage, a salary with which they can never afford themselves or their families, never buy a house or afford education, and always live in debt. And if someone somehow gets lucky and with great determination works hard and manages to pay off debt, it would take so much time that they would reach the end of their life. And when man is not paid enough to afford his family, it opens the opportunity to have a hand over the other half of the population, the women. Instead of grooming their home and family, they must come out of their houses. And so that women don't feel pathetic about abandoning their home and family, the women are brainwashed to believe women are finally being free like men. Women are instigated in the name of feminism and women's rights. They are brainwashed to believe obscenity is freedom, and virtue is shackle. Anything for her boss or career is justifiable because they're making money. But honoring one's husband or family is belittling. Life and surviving in this society has become so difficult that the greatest honor of creation, being a mother, is seen as a setback in life, an obstacle. Lost morals, fear of poverty, and poverty have broken families. Broken homes, and entrapped people in modern-day slavery. And children of broken households never have the opportunity to reach anywhere in their life. In this country, there are more glass ceilings than the people could ever understand. Everyone in this country believes they are democratically electing their political leaders. But they don't understand. They really don't have a say. They never did. They never will. Those who have the money, or the option to acquire the money to run a successful campaign, are the only ones who can run for election. And once the politicians come into power, they serve the interests of those masters who funded their campaign. These political leaders never serve the interests of the people. They didn't do all this to come into power to serve people. And politicians would do anything to stay in power. Political leaders keep the nation occupied, debating useless subjects of society which will never benefit people, and keep people divided. And in the mean, the politicians become rich by staying in the good book of the producers of money. These political leaders are sending the sons of this country to wars under false pretense, invading, colonizing, and destabilizing other countries, all to serve the masters who gave these political leaders money. Masters who need these wars to take place so that they can hold on to their position of power and control. And all this is being watched over by an elite class secret society, formed with few selective bloodlines, who think they are gods and people are their cattle. Money, what is it really? A piece of paper? An abstract idea? It doesn't have any real value. It's not gold standard. It's not silver standard. It's a piece of paper which corresponds to nothing except make-believe. Its value becomes less or more by the extent of printing. And even then, now it has become debt. All this for $1. The benefactors of which are those who print it. They control the world with it. People think informations are open source. But the truth is, the informations are very controlled. All the media is controlled by the same people. People think they have choice because they see different brands. But in reality, all brands are owned by the same owner. People who own the processed food industry also own the pharmaceutical. Their processed foods are causing all the diseases, and they're making all the medicines for it. Medicine that costs pennies to manufacture, but are sold for the price of human life. This country doesn't have freedom. What it offers is workload of a donkey to not become homeless, which everyone fears. Then freedom to live a lewd, virtueless life of a swine. And then enjoy cheap entertainment. Watching the film, Grace was struck in awe and realization. This is true. Today my life is like this because of them. People have become part of the system, this modern-day slavery. There are so many women like me, and children like mine, and they don't even realize it. What should I do? Breaking news. After the death of author and director David Lamartine, his last film, The Deception of World, has been leaked online, exposing political leaders and those who fund them, own banks and print money. Authorities are suspecting Lamartine had set up this film to be released in case of his untimely demise. Intellectuals and critics have been very critical of his final work, calling it garbage and utter nonsense, devoid of factuality, made for chaotic propaganda. The world needs to know. Even if people can't do anything about it, at least they know what game is being played with them. It was Grace who had leaked the film. And with that, she decided she would never fall into this life of crime again. No matter if she would have to live in poverty, raise her kids in poverty. If hard work and sacrifice is the price of living a decent life, she is ready to pay. She would rather work 16 hours a day, at 2 jobs, and sleep less, eat simple food, or even sleep on the street with her 2 kids, than sell herself or sell substance that harm people. Aiden, Jason, hurry up, it's going to rain soon. Finish him. Yes, sir. We won't disappoint you. When the syndicate became aware of where Lamartine was hiding, they set up a plan to take his life. Find someone from the hotel who can get the job done. We have one of our girls there. We need someone we can use and get rid of. There's a new girl. She can get it done. The syndicate had trapped Grace to do this job. The whole thing was a setup. There was no buyer. It was them who sent the goons to mug her and leave her with no other choice but to do what they wanted. Finish Lamartine. Mom?
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.